Gender wears a beard.
Welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. Sonny is here.
Good afternoon, good evening. What's up, party people? It's good to be back.
So Hot Dog Paul is here.
Hey, we're live. Say hello to Instagram.
What's going on?
Boom. Nice.
Hi, I'm here.
For just this evening, you can call him Sleepy. Donovan's here.
Hey everyone.
And in a undisclosed location, the variant is in the bungalow over there.
The bungalow.
What's up? What's up?
That's a nice hoodie.
So
That is a nice
I
hoodie.
really like that.
guys,
Wow. It's been a long week.
it's been a long week. Last week around this time, we were preparing our minds, our mind grapes, to go and see
Remind what?
The Batman with about 20 of our closest friends.
That was.
I liked that.
You nailed the soundtrack.
He's like walking.
I've been listening to that song nonstop.
I love that song,
They
dude.
said there's
Honestly.
a ton. There's like a 7,000% spike in downloads for that
Yeah.
song.
Oh, for sure.
I was.
course.
It jumped to like the only Nirvana song that has more downloads on it than on Apple
Blum,
Music. It
blum,
smells like
Teen
Teen
Spirit.
Spirit.
Yeah. That was honestly one of the coolest movies we've seen as a team. What did we do? We did Spider-Man, probably that big, and then there was something else we
Army
did.
of the Dead.
Probably.
We
That
saw
was
a lot.
fun.
We saw.
We
Army of the
brought
Dead
that
with a
many
lot of
people to see Army of the Dead.
Well,
That was pretty close.
It was
It
a
was
big. It was a
over
big
10.
group. It was
I'm
a
sorry.
big group. Nah. I think
That was a fun night.
in just
a
like
bad
a
movie.
wrap up, it was awesome. I think I got a lot more from that than I thought I was gonna get. I did not think Pattinson was gonna be cool, and he was cool.
Mm.
I thought it was badass, dude.
It was badass. I agree. I think it is on par with The Dark Knight for me. It's a very different movie. They have very different stories. This is arguably the first Batman movie about Batman. It's not about the Joker. He is the main focus of. It's not about the Riddler. It's not about the villain. The villain isn't what makes it interesting. The villain in this is fantastic, and he is
Right.
interesting. But this movie is Batman's movie in a way that I feel like most of his films have not been. Not
Yeah.
that he hasn't been good in them, and not that Batman isn't interesting in all of his films. He's Batman, but this is a Batman story about him becoming who we know and love and being the Batman we see.
Early in the
And-
career.
Exactly.
Yeah, the fact that we understand in the first couple minutes that he's been 2 years into the game. My favorite part is when they're trying to do the scramble of the riddle, and he puts on his sunglasses in the kitchen, and like it's not to be cool. It's his eyes haven't been, they're not like dilated to sunlight. He's running the streets for the last couple months. You know what I mean? So just like the little nods that this movie did, definitely did a lot of service for me. I've talked to a few really close homies, and we've all talked in this room. The Joker scene probably wasn't needed. I might have gave it a higher score if we got that. I understand why the studio was doing that.
I've seen interviews where it seems like it was very much Matt Reeves' idea and that he was the one that wanted it in it. So that makes me feel better about it.
Well, and they cut out another scene. Reeves was actually talking about a bigger scene, which we definitely see that it was the Joker. I would have given it a bigger score without that, I think.
Real quick, what is your score, real quick? Out of 10.
9.
Okay. Donovan?
8.5.
Okay. Variant?
9.
A 9 out of 10.
It's like a very like
Strong
comfortable 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Not moving nowhere.
What you got?
Not moving nowhere.
Mm-mm.
I would give it a 9 as well. I mean, it's probably the best Batman movie. In my opinion, it's the best Batman movie besides Dark Knight.
I think I agree with that. I've wavered back and forth. I've seen it 3 times, and you guys know me. I don't do that. I saw Spider-Man once. I don't go to the movies as much time to see something unless I'm like really, really like I really love it and something I want to watch over and over and over again. And something like this is like super, super good, and I think I can safely say it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I took my mom to see it on Tuesday. And my mom, she's not into superhero stuff. She watches our show, but she's not like huge into it. And if she thinks a superhero movie is bad, she's gonna be like, it's bad.
Right.
She's in there right now. She gave it a 9 as well.
She loved it.
That's awesome.
She was afraid she wasn't gonna like Catwoman. My mom's like picky about weird like aesthetic stuff.
No.
She loved it. She adored it.
My parents, their thing is to go, movie night, whatever, and they're looking through, whatever's at South Point, and they're like, you know what? Should we go see Batman?
Yeah.
They're like, yo, he said it's good. They watched the show and everything, so they went to see it. Mom's called me afterwards. She was like, I really liked that movie. I know nothing about what was going on and who was supposed to be who, but like, she was like, if you take out Batman, it was like a cool detective movie. And I'm like, you're right.
And we can start to get into some of the stuff, like specifically why I thought the characterization was so good. But Donovan, you haven't said that much, and I want to know what you think.
I know. I've been
I'm just listening. I'm listening.
He's been real quiet about it.
At first I didn't like the movie. When I first saw it initially, I did not like it.
Really?
I was like, oh, God, another story where we have to watch Batman figure out whether or not he wants to be Bruce or Batman, or if he has to be both.
Right.
We get it. Oh, we get it. Please. Every time I read a comic book with Batman in it, he knows who he is.
Right.
He knows what he's supposed to do. He understands it. I don't know how many more times we have to beat around this. Will he, won't he? Is he Bruce? Is he Bat? How can he be both? Like I think for most audiences, we get it at this point. And I think for me personally, I'm over it. I'm over the whole like duality of like trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be in Destiny and all that. Blah, blah.
Right.
That's, I think, really the first time I saw it, I was like, dang, dude, we're going to get another one where he's like he's underdeveloped as Batman. He's not going to be as strong as a fighter.
Right.
He's just not going to have the cool stuff. Like, he didn't even like, there were a few moments where he was snuck away and they were like, oh, he did the classic Batman sneak away. But like during the fight, like he didn't instill fear.
No.
He didn't like use any
he would
stealth
still
tactics.
He would take a punch to get the punch rather than Batman would be like, oh, you're not going to touch me.
I mean, not even like that, but like if you like, he says that he's in the shadows, but yeah, he's in the shadows, but he doesn't stay too long in the shadows, and he doesn't like he hides in the shadows, but he definitely reveals himself. Just like he walks out, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm here." But the Batman that I know, and he lurks in the shadows.
Right.
He's in the shadows. He uses the shadows to his advantage when he's fighting to instill fear with everybody around him. Yes, I get that the bat signal being in the air and then seeing a dark corridor and not knowing if he's going to be behind there.
That was the coolest thing ever.
So, but I'm just saying the underdevelopment part for Batman was just like, we've seen it before.
Right.
I get it. I want to see him take on 20 guys at one time and barely get touched.
Right.
Oh, okay, barely get touched.
And barely get touched. Like,
yeah,
that's
but
what I
you're
want
not
to
going to see that in year 2, though.
Yeah.
You understand that.
No, yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Guys, I know
he
that
still
I'm not,
has to get beat up and
think you're
punched and
missing.
trialed.
I know, but I think you're missing what I'm saying though.
You
I'm
don't want to have
tired
to see
of
that.
a year 2 Batman.
Okay.
I'm tired of seeing a year 1 through year 5 Batman in my movies. I want to see a year 10, a year 15 Batman who has been doing this for a very long time and understands.
With Batman versus Superman, and it didn't do too well. He was pretty.
Yeah, but you have to consider like
distinguished
the story at the. Yeah, no, I understand that, and easily the warehouse scene is one of the top 3 best Batman scenes of all time.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Like
cool.
you watch that and you go, "Holy crap!" Like that was what we wanted, but we didn't get all of that with it because the story was that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So I watched the movie, I liked it, or I didn't like it at first, and then I went home and I watched Chinatown with Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway. It's a Roman Polanski film from the 70s. It's a classic noir that takes place in L.A.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. I've seen it 1,000 times. I watched it again. I was like, I love this movie. It's great. And then I watched the movie Seven, which a lot of it was based. This movie and this style was based
One
off
of my favorite movies.
You see a lot with the rain, everything that happened.
Zodiac vibes.
Totally. So I watched that and I was like, all right,
vibes.
cool. And then I saw the movie in my IMAX. So then I went and saw it in IMAX and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is really nice. But the reason why I don't give it a 10 is because there's just one and again, I loved how they paced it. The second time, watching the second time, I was like, okay, this is a little more cohesive. I could have done without the exposition soliloquies from some characters. Like, I would have liked to, start to say it, then maybe give us a flashback of what that may have looked like instead of Alfred giving a 2-page monologue about, you didn't do it, Master Wayne. I didn't, I mean to, I try, all that. Okay. Yeah. We get it. You lied. You didn't lie. You were trying to protect. We get it. But there's one fundamental thing that I completely disagree with in the movie, and it is a big one for me. Batman is not a symbol of hope. That belongs to Kal-El.
I 100% disagree.
Belongs to Kal-El.
Not in his city,
I
though.
believe that he provides hope, but he is not the symbol for hope.
I think maybe that was just him trying to figure out
and
what.
I think that's something a lot of Batman movies have been missing from that he does.
He is hope. Like there's still kids that want to be the Bat, and there's still there's the Nightwings and the Robins out there. I think he might not be the symbol of hope, but I think he needs to be hope for Gotham.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I think those younger characters though kind of lean into that, or they lend that because there's kind of an innocence about them being in the role that they're in.
Right.
They are more hopeful.
Right.
Than he would ever be.
Right.
That's my opinion. I kind of see what you're saying.
I get the idea of providing hope. Yes, provide hope, but a symbol of hope. To me, the bat symbol is not a symbol of hope. It just isn't. Like you see that and you go, "Uh-oh, he's out.
Get out of here."
But is it
for criminals?
But is it
for criminals and for people that are like, "Oh, these criminals are in trouble."
But that's what I'm saying, though.
In trouble.
Is it a symbol of hope for the single mom that's walking her son with the baby that's going from her late night shift that knows that these criminals might not jump at me in the hallway or in the alley because the bat is out there?
My understanding
of
the zeitgeist of people of Gotham is that criminals run into Batman, but if you're a civilian, it's very seldom that you run into Batman, and if you do, you can't believe what you're seeing because
it's like a
mystery. He is scary. I can see why the criminals are scared of him. They don't go, "Whew, thank God you're here." Oh man,
well, dude, even if we were walking and you see it out on the monorail in Las Vegas and the lights go out and there's some 6-foot dude dressed as a bat
that's
with
my
leather cape,
so,
you're like,
but that's my point though. People don't look at him and go, "He's here. Hope is here." They go, "Oh snap, fear is here," and they're here to scare criminals out of their minds. Literally, the S on Superman chest means hope.
So
it means
I'm gonna.
hope.
I think the end of this movie brought Batman to a place closer to the way he is characterized in the comics than ever before on film. And a specific example I will use of that, I'll have 2 examples. One is in a comic, one is the Justice League cartoon. But the first example I use is in Batman War on Crime, when there's a little kid, a young kid, and he's getting involved with the gang or whatever, and he's staring down Batman, and he's going to shoot Batman in the chest with a gun or whatever. And Batman could take the gun from the kid. Batman could do any number of things to stop the kid from shooting him, but he doesn't. Batman, he knows the kid's not a criminal. He's a kid. And he looks the kid in the eyes and says, "Don't be what took our parents from us. Don't be that. Be something greater." And the kid drops the gun and hugs Batman and cries. That is one of the best moments in any Batman comic ever. And for me, Batman he's the man. He does whatever he needs to do to help Gotham become better.
Right.
And I think when he at the end of the movie, when he's talking about the scars, which is one of my favorite dialogues ever, he says we can learn from our scars, or we can let them bury us, or we can become stronger and fight through them. And I think that is a much more interesting concept. Excuse me, sorry. I know I do that all the time. And it's a much more interesting concept than just Batman scares criminals.
Yeah.
We've seen that 100 times before.
Yeah, we know what that's like.
And in the comics, he does scare criminals, and they're afraid of him, but he also instills hope in Gotham and the police force and the citizens of Gotham knowing. And that's another thing I love that this movie did. It moved away from citizens being like, oh, he's a vigilante, we don't trust him. It moved away from that. I hate that. I hate that every movie does that with Batman.
Yeah.
Because for the most part in the comics, everyone's like, oh, it's Batman, he's gonna help us because he's a good guy. Because we know he's a hero. And this movie has moved him into place of being a hero, unlike any movie has before this. And he instills all the things I want to see in myself. And he is everything I want to see in myself, and why I love the character. He doesn't kill anybody. He does everything he can at all points in times, despite how scarred he is, despite how broken he is, despite how he sees like his father made a mistake, whether it was what he thought was going to happen or not. His father still made a mistake. And instead of throwing it all away and poo-pooing it because, oh, my dad isn't who I thought he was, he said, you know what, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to work through these scars. I'm going to get better, and I'm going to continue to be what this city needs me to be.
So in The Dark Knight, there's a part where he is talking about Harvey Dent being the hope that this city needs. And he says, Batman can never be the hope that this city needs. He can.
Right.
And I think Batman can be. I think him not being it worked for that trilogy.
I think there's a duality.
Do you want to
though,
see that
the
again?
character.
Yeah.
You want to see that exact thing again?
Because there's a.
I don't.
think there's there's a
it
duality
meant-
Sonny, to the two between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne can be hope.
That's
Right.
and that
Batman cannot be hope.
and that's my point. Bruce
yeah.
Wayne can be hope.
Yeah.
Batman cannot. He to me, he just can't. I've never.
Yeah,
like, I get where they're going at the end of the movie. Like, I totally get it. He realizes that if he continues to just say "I'm vengeance" the whole time and act out of vengeance, it's only
Right.
encouraging the psychos out there to do the same thing
Same
and go
thing.
after, which is what we saw in the Riddler.
Right.
And why he got pissed when he was like, What do you mean you're not my friend? I thought we were in this together. I told you we were in this together. And he said,
Right.
I'll never do it. And he goes, no. You have been vengeance. I followed your lead. I put on my mask like you put on yours. And we
Right.
get to see your real face. But he realizes that this face, this bat face, is not the face that Gotham needs. This is not the face that Gotham needs. It's
Just
Bruce.
you talking
so when
about that, it gives me goosebumps. This movie, I think, did more maybe for people like everybody in this room than like the regular bunch. I think this pop culturally did amazing. Zoe Kravitz might get her own spin-off. Penguin is getting his own spin-off.
And it takes place right after this movie.
I
So
think
it's kind
that's
of a
the
sequel,
that's
which is
the
nice.
coolest thing.
Definitely had a lot riding on just this film. They have a lot riding on this movie.
GCPD got scratched, and
now
now
it's going
we're
to turn into an Arkham
an
series.
Arkham haunted, I don't know, asylum type of movie,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty stoked for, and I'm sure we're gonna get something of that Joker into this maybe at the end.
That'll be ready in 2030
Yeah,
with
right.
DC.
Real
You
quick,
know what I mean?
Variant. I wanted to touch base with you about what did you think of the Riddler as a character?
I mean, this is the best Riddler that we've gotten in cinematography.
Ever.
It's either Jim Carrey or bust at this point, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is fantastic. This villain, both the villains, Cobblepot and Riddler, are incredibly believable.
Yeah.
Like, the Riddler could exist. Like,
Correct.
as far as we've been seeing with all these crazy conspiracy theories that have been coming out
100%.
the last couple of years, we
Yeah.
totally could believe that the Riddler could exist in our society, going onto some whatever website, some forum page, some Facebook group, and finding some people to get a similar outfit to him and stage this crazy thing. I think the Riddler is the most believable part about this movie, and the amount that Batman fails makes Batman better overall. Because
Agreed.
he's like, the sequence, one of the best sequences in any Batman movie, I'm just putting it out there, is when he jumps off of the Gotham City police station.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
That is the best moment in any Batman movie. We can contest it if you want to, but that moment of him, panicking, rechecking his straps of like, all right, cool, is this glider on? And like him like checking things. He keeps checking things and then he jumps. And it's that cool GoPro or whatever camera
Yeah.
of it like swinging around, him going straight on, and then deploying the parachute a little too slow,
Yeah.
you know, and like hitting his
Smacks.
head, smacking down, going onto the ground, whatever. That crazy sequence, and then him getting back up, and he's like, "Well, I'm still Batman," and like him like having like the walk away kind of weird. Like he doesn't just like jog.
No,
I didn't notice.
no.
I didn't notice the first time, but he has no like that thing was his cape that
Yeah.
he used. So
He
when
doesn't have a cape afterwards.
He does not have a cape afterwards.
yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that the second time, and I was like, "Ah, cool detail."
This movie's just awesome, and Riddler I think was just so sweet.
I
They just
agree.
did such a good job, very believable. I think the only scene for me is Riddler or not Riddler, Joker, my bad, and Riddler in the cage or in Arkham talking to Batman. They kind of do this weird like monologue into monologue into monologue, like they keep on going back and forth, and it just felt like there was like weird resolution between like Riddler and Batman that like they just kept on kind of like the scene just kept on going.
You brought up an interesting
Whatever.
point because there's a fan theory being floated around out there that the Riddler actually doesn't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
He
And then he's
doesn't.
calling him that, but he keeps saying Bruce Wayne.
I think he's saying it
As
as
if
like an obsession, though. Like
that he's
"Ah, I
obsessed with
almost
Bruce
got him."
Wayne, and he's.
yeah.
I think that's really cool that he actually doesn't. If he actually doesn't know, we don't know if he does or
Batman's
not.
just kind of going into it
But-
like, oh my god, he knows who I am.
Yeah, because it's like a wait a minute. I've been trying to work on my secret identity type of thing. Like trying to
Yeah,
maintain
I guess I
this.
didn't really think about that, it being like kind of left up in the air, because I had the idea that he didn't know who he was. Even
Yeah.
after seeing it a second time, I was like, oh, he doesn't know who
Yeah,
he is.
Right.
But then there's another part of me that maybe he does know who he is, but he's so
But
psychotic.
he's saying it because he's obsessed with Bruce Wayne, and obsessed with the Wayne.
He doesn't
family,
want
and
to
he
and
believe
says,
it.
with
even
Thomas
as a
Wayne,
child, I
obsessed.
loved solving puzzles, and like I would imagine that all the things and all the evidence that he had in there, especially like the Bruce Wayne pictures next to Batman pictures and like unmask who is he
Right.
would know who he is. But
Right.
then there's
Yeah.
the other possibility of him being so psychotic and so obsessed with Bruce Wayne that he
He would just
totally
miss
is
that.
blind to the idea, no pun intended, that he is Batman.
There's no like. I mean, there isn't, and there really
Which is
isn't
really
any
cool.
major
was.
type of. There's no real major twist
No.
in this movie, I would say. But one thing to
Selena
me,
Kyle Falcone.
well,
No, that's
but,
not a twist.
But we find that on the
Well, I
comics
guess-
in the Win in Rome.
that's why I don't think
one
it's-
shot.
Yeah, no,
deal,
I
but-
know that, but like in
Yeah,
the
I'm
that
like,
gets
I'm like,
revealed.
but from a movie standpoint,
Yeah, you're
that
right, you're
was
right.
the twist.
Anybody was like, oh, like that seems like weird to put that in, and I'm like,
My
to
wife
me-
thought so, and I went. She goes, "Is that real?" I go,
yeah, yeah.
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
show
yeah.
these scenes about the
Watch
floor,
the movie, watch
when
the
they show
movie.
the floor being painted about sins of the father, and they're mapping all this stuff out, when you're seeing that in the trailer months ago, okay, I thought that was the Riddler. I thought that was like his obsession of all the detail
Oh,
that he's
interesting.
going over in his mind, and that kind of felt like a twist to me as I'm watching the movie, that it's actually Bruce who is obsessing about that, and that's his like crazy over detailed obsessive compulsive disorder, going over all of those last details. He becomes obsessed the way that Riddler does. It's not to the same degree, but he becomes obsessed the way that Riddler is, that he's writing manuals and whatever else. Batman is becoming a detective in front of our eyes.
And
the
that's
first
the
year
coolest
he's figuring
part.
things out.
That's the coolest part.
How do I follow somebody? How do I not
He
get
picks
caught?
up the clues
How do
that
I
everybody else
he's,
doesn't.
He's
You know what I mean?
figuring this
It's
out as he
so
goes
cool,
along,
dude.
and the relationship between, it's not a character, it's an inanimate character, but the character of Gotham City
Yeah.
is a huge part
Oh,
of this movie,
no doubt.
and his relationship with Commissioner Gordon. It's
I
fantastic.
thought it was awesome.
They're
dude.
clearly just friends.
Thumb
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah. I
That
think
was tight.
that-
Thumb drive.
That's the I think that's the strength of this movie. Everything's very good in this movie. We haven't talked at all about the car chase, which is one of, I mean, off the top of my
It's
head,
crazy.
recency bias, the coolest car chase I've ever seen in any movie
Yeah, I
ever.
put it number
Well,
2.
Fast
number
9.
for me. Yeah, for me, number 1 was Samuel L. Jackson in Winter Soldier. That whole car
Okay.
chase scene
There
was
was
my
one that
number
was
one.
good.
That was pretty badass.
And this one
It
was,
was
number
reminiscent
2.
of that when he shoots the Uzi at the window and it
Yeah.
doesn't break. But the relationships in this movie are what drive it forward. The relationship with Gore, and it's why the 3-hour movie for me doesn't feel like 3 hours. And my mom is my like frame of reference for regular people. She said it didn't feel like a 3-hour movie. It
yeah,
moved.
because it really felt like you're watching something happen, and then okay, the climax is about to happen, and then more happens. Because by the end of it, I was like, "You can give me some more. Like, I'll I'll take this. I'll take
You
this
would have
extra
watched
month.
this. It was like a mini series, and you would have been
And-
just as glued
and
to
imagine-
it. It could have played out like that.
In a couple of series on HBO Max, I don't know, maybe 6 or something, 5 or whatever, I would be begging for more at that point. You know what I mean? In personal opinion, I think we gave it almost 9 around the park and got 8.5 or something around here. It was an amazing movie.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that's like thanks to the relationships, like him and Alfred. Almost, I said Andy Serkis, same thing. It's clearly he is still in a place where he's hurt by the loss of his
Yeah.
parents, and he doesn't like know how to react to Alfred, and sees what Alfred is doing for him,
Right.
and then that's why I really love the scene where they're sitting at the bedside, and Alfred is like, "Your father was a good man, but he made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody makes
He loved
mistakes.
you. He didn't do it for his image or political aspirations. He
Right.
did it for your mother and for you,
Right.
because he loved you guys."
Right.
And that moment where Bruce is like, I thought I had gotten control of all of my feelings and stuff like that, but the thought of ever losing somebody like that again destroys me. And then
Yeah.
he puts his hands out and grab him, and you can see how like terrified Bruce is when he realizes that Riddler is sending a bomb to his house. It's cut out. You don't really hear him screaming because of the score, but it works perfectly. He's screaming, "Answer the phone, please, please,
Right.
please, please, please," and he's pleading with whomever to answer the phone because he doesn't want anything to happen to Alfred.
So
There was
sick.
only one thing that pulled me out of the scene, that when he goes to visit him in the hospital, and I the first time I saw it, I was like, man. And then the second time I saw it, I went, oh, yeah, it ruins the whole him yelling in the car for him. Literally, when he opens his eyes, he goes, "You lied to me."
Well,
Not-
that's
not like-
after
No. I
the
understand that.
conversation
That's
with
the,
Falcone.
but that's the first thing he says to him after he just almost got blown away. The guy used to
Right.
change his diapers, and the first thing he says is, "You lied to me." Instead of, "I'm glad you're awake. Hey, we need to talk about some
Right.
things." It was, "You lied to me," and I was
And,
like, "Oh."
and that's little things
I didn't
that'll
mind that.
always
He was in a
happen.
place of
I didn't
anger,
even I
and
didn't even put 2 and 2 together until you talked about that. I think that's little things that are gonna happen in movies, and we're not all gonna have the same experience. And we're not
There's all kinds of things you can nitpick about
Right.
something. Like, not saying you're nitpicking. I'm saying that there's details
They are.
that we can pull out of. There's details that we can pull out of something, and not be full.
Guys,
of,
and I
full
want to say
behind
this
it.
full for. I really did like this movie.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I
was
didn't.
dope,
I
dude.
wasn't like, but it was like
I was.
it was
I
good.
wasn't
We
like
know.
that either, but I was.
I think this next movie. That they have to do. The movie made almost $200 million in a weekend.
Oh my god.
Domestic or globally, like
Made
come on.
$30 million on its preview night.
Yeah, come on, like give me a
Stupid.
break.
Yeah.
They're gonna make another one. So I think
Absolutely.
this next one and what they decide to do going forward with them really, the quality of the first movie hinges on, for me, this second movie and what they do going forward. And like,
It's
because
true,
this
man.
should have been the perfect stepping stone and the perfect what
good.
do they say in volleyball? The perfect setup for the next movie to
was so
spike it.
We play a lot of volleyball. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
play a lot
He
of
gave,
Yeah,
the
I
volleyball.
he gave him the alley oop.
It felt like for the first time, maybe ever, that I was watching the Batman I read on the page on the screen.
Dude, same. Because it's like the movie might have been 3 hours, but you get like 2 hours of like Batman and maybe an hour of Bruce Wayne. Maybe not even
Let's say
that. Maybe
it's-
like 30 minutes.
The movie's
And
80% Batman.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no
the
doubt.
first time we get an adaptation of work from Scott Snyder
yeah.
in live action.
Yeah.
Because the last couple Batman movies had come out before his run had come out,
Right.
or the Batman vs Superman stuff was just so unrelated. But this story, in a lot of ways, it's year zero. It's
Yeah.
Dark City.
Pattinson mentioned, I think it was his Twitter or his Instagram or something. He says it's the first time that you'll see Batman not wear a tuxedo in a movie. Is that Bruce Wayne doesn't wear a tux?
Oh wow,
in
that's
this
true. I
movie.
mean, in the
I was like, I don't know,
funeral, I
good
guess
point.
he was wearing a little
A
suit.
suit,
But the Playboy
but he's-
persona
that-
hasn't
it's
been
not-
developed
that-
yet.
It's not developed
That's not
yet.
there yet. And I think
He doesn't even want
eventually,
to talk to anyone.
once he figures out that there's things that Bruce Wayne can do that Batman can't,
and that's kind of what
he's gonna
Rial
learn.
and Alfred are trying to tell him.
like,
They're
hey, you need to be the suit and the face. You need to go to those meetings. You need to shake hands with those and drink champagne with
Can
these
this be the
people.
last time that they do that?
Probably. I mean, this is another trilogy. He just doesn't want to
No, I
see
know.
it happen
If it
again.
is a trilogy, yeah.
Like we're seeing
Oh.
again. Alfred in the previous trilogy said the same thing. They need Bruce Wayne. They don't need Batman. And even in the first movies with Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger's character, she tells him like, "Why do you have to keep doing this? Doesn't the city need more of Bruce Wayne instead of this?" When she's in the cave and she finds out that he's Batman. So for me, it's like, okay, yes, we've heard this dialogue
And
before.
the reason I don't think it's gonna go the same way is because this movie puts Batman in a place where Gotham does need him, and he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's not just some vigilante like he is in
It's
literally
different.
every other movie.
It's
He's a
definitely
hero like he
different.
is in the comics.
It's definitely different this time around. So I feel like if there's a little bit more room or a little bit more wiggle room for you to add some more Bruce Wayne into some stuff, we can get this trilogy to be something good.
Yeah, because the things that I love in the books is when Bruce Wayne doesn't have his cape and cowl on and he comes from a board meeting or something.
Yeah, dude.
Sits down and goes, okay, so let's work on this case that we were working on before as Bruce Wayne. Like, I loved those
Right.
moments. Those are some
And
of
I
my
think it's
favorite
cool
moments. And the
because-
dialogue between him and Alfred is always like fun because they sort of tease each other back and forth, but they're also super focused.
Right.
And then, like,
I
if he's
think
like,
Gordon and him did a lot of that in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
They had a good
they
back
had
and
some
forth.
they had some good dialogue, but I didn't like Jeffrey Wright's performance.
I completely disagree.
There was one point where he was in the thing and he just kept turning to the side like this
He
a
does do
lot,
that
and he
a
was
lot.
doing a lot of this and a lot of that. And I was like, hold your head still, please hold your head still. As
you
an
got a
as
mystery.
as a former actor, I was watching his choices and I was like, meh. But I mean, his delivery was great. Some of the lines that he had that I was like, oh, that's so Gordon. The way he like,
Yeah, I think
the
he
way
was
he did
good,
that.
dude.
I like the way he talked to Batman like they were friends. Like even before like
Sure.
they
But it was
realized
like they were
it's-
friends, but they were like on the opposite side
But
of
he
the
still was,
classroom.
he was
Like,
he
You know what
hesitant
I mean?
to show him
Yeah,
trust.
you know?
though. I
And
mean,
He was
like-
like, we've been at this 2 years, and I don't even know who you are.
Right.
Yeah, and like before he like there's the
good.
That
bat
was
in the
good,
cage
right?
with the last note, and like Gordon doesn't know what's going on, and Gordon's just like talking to his friend. He's like, "Man, I don't think that rat likes you, man." And the Batman's all serious. He's like, "Yeah, this isn't a rat," and Gordon's like, "Oh shit, what's going on?"
Yeah.
So I just love and this is it's not even close, and I will not hear anything. This is the best detective and smartest Batman we have ever seen on
100%.
film.
Wait, you mean to tell me that
And
when
it is
Bruce
not
Wayne
even close.
created the thumbprint on a block?
Yeah.
I'm being
I know.
facetious.
Believe it or not,
Because I completely agree with you. Because when I saw that, I was like, what is he actually
I
solving?
got a fingerprint.
Yeah,
A
he
bullet
is so
fired.
intelligent, and you see him analyzing the gear he has is super cool.
Yeah,
like
dude.
the
It's
cameras and
That's
the
realistic.
lenses.
that to me was the highlight of the movie was how grounded everything was in
Everything was
continuity.
grounded.
Yeah.
Like he had the obvious
The
ones was like the
lenses.
black makeup around the eyes. Like that was great. The lenses that he could see and have facial recognition and ID everyone in the room. I
Yes.
thought that was really cool. The cape thing, him using his cape to be a glider, thought that was awesome. There were a few other. I loved the venom that he kept on him, the venom
Yeah.
serum that he kept
Not
on him.
confirmed, but yeah.
It's not confirmed, but it might as well be because
That was definitely Venom.
And we
too.
haven't even talked about all the like shout outs to
dude to Hush to
Hush, the Court of Owls,
yeah, everything.
Bloodhaven.
There's a lot of things.
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven.
There was so much, dude.
the district attorney
Yep,
just died.
Coulson.
yeah,
Guess who's probably gonna fill that role in the next one?
Yeah.
Harvey
easy,
Dent.
easy.
I love this movie. I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna go watch it again.
Yeah, I do. The things that they did though were really, really fun as far as the continuity that was in there. There's even some moments I saw it again. Seeing it in IMAX, highly suggest you go see it in IMAX. When he's fighting the Riddler goons on top of the thing, there was some not speculation. People were like, "Oh, see, he killed him." I was like, "No, he moved out of the way, and the guy shot the."
Yeah,
He
That
happened
wasn't
to be
his
behind
fault.
him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ah.
And then when that happened, when he turned around and turned away, the guy who's on the ground shoots. Then he also shoots at Batman, and you see the bullet hit the back of his head. And I was like, "Oh!"
he takes a couple shots. No, he takes a couple
Oh,
shots in this movie.
he was concussed.
He was
I mean, probably when he took that
The
blast.
my
physical
God, dude.
prowess
Yeah.
of Batman in this movie, with the exception of, I will admit, the Affleck one, is the best I've ever. He takes
Right.
on dozens of dudes at once.
Dozens of dudes
And
in
you
this
say
suit.
it's grounded and stuff, but yeah, in real life, if any human being got in a fight, I don't care if you're Francis Ngannou, if there's 12 people, you're losing.
Yeah.
Sure. And
Batman
again, this
isn't.
is year 2 Batman, so I'm hoping that in the next one he goes, "Okay, I can't take all these guys on right when I get there. I'm going to start taking them out
To
one by
wrap
one,
one by one,
and getting
Yeah.
in their psyche
scare
before
the hell out of 'em, dude.
before I go after the
I got a
the
question
other
for
ones."
everybody, who do you want to see as the main villain in the next movie? Is it a mistake if they just go right to the Joker?
Absolutely.
Mr. Freeze.
That's nice.
And Matt Reeves has
I
said
like
in
that.
interviews
He wants to adapt
do
that.
Reeves, and that this Joker thing at the end
That'd be
does
sick.
not necessarily mean that the Joker is
no,
going to be
dude,
the
it
villain.
does not.
Variant.
Clayface.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
Just
That'd
big
be interesting.
CGI, make it scary, make it like, this movie was supposed to be. I thought this movie, I was scared because I thought this movie was going to be darker than it was. It wasn't that scary. It wasn't that dark, but I think it'd be cool if the sequel was like, yeah, Batman's going a little crazy because he can't handle everything. And then they start going into like Clayface, or they start going into like more of these villains that are a little bit more like
It's
just
fantastical. I think this
aggressive. Yeah.
I think
Fantastical.
I think this movie has put a future sequels and just a universe built around this Batman in a really great place because it's grounded, but also he has Venom. He's fighting 12 dudes at once. You have the Penguin. It's in a place where it can expand into weirder villains and characters like that, like Mr. Freeze, and still be believable while staying grounded.
I think it depends on one big factor, though, Sonny, is if this next movie holds up against the first one.
Yeah, because I know
This
the
next
budget.
movie's gotta be-
They'll get the budget.
Oh, they're gonna give them a ton of money.
They'll get the budget. They can do whatever they want. So if we're talking CG, Clayface would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That would be sick.
And we haven't seen it.
But Matt
Mr.
Reeves will find some way to make it look practical
Oh, of
because
course.
this
It'll-
movie was
it'll look
filled with
realistic.
practicality.
Reeves is
I would
incredible.
love to see Mr. Freeze. You know what I'd like to see is Poison Ivy.
Mm.
It'd be really interesting
Oh,
to see
they could do Batman
Selena's.
Forever again. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
and
ice
it would be a
skating and-
nod because it,
Ice
that would be
Dementia.
nice. But it would be really cool to see
Chill.
like Selena Kyle's thing over here with Poison Ivy, and like how would you practically be able to do that? And does that bring in Swamp Thing into like main continuity? It'd be really interesting.
They did a really good job of balancing all of these characters.
Yeah, because you don't know what
giving
can
them their
happen
time.
next, man.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd like to see the Joker as the next one. And
Yeah?
I know that people are
Just
like,
to see like if they could do it right.
well, not only that, I think I hear what you guys are saying as far as the Joker scene in the movie. I think if they actually showed a little bit more Joker's,
Well,
it
and
would have been better.
I agree with you. I have enjoyed everything Barry Keoghan, or however you pronounce his name. I've enjoyed everything he's in, and I've seen it a few times now, and the scene bothers me significantly less. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with his performance. I just don't think it necessarily gelled with the cohesion of the rest of the movie.
I agree.
I don't think
this-
you needed it.
I don't
Wow.
exactly. I don't think you needed it either.
You didn't really need. You don't really need the dynamic between him and the Riddler for what?
I think
he's gonna be there. Yeah,
Well-
you could have been there. You could put
Do you
him
guys
in.
need another Joker though? We've had like
I-
30 in the past
I
year and a
don't.
half.
Exactly.
I don't.
I don't.
But Donovan,
I don't.
do you want to see another good one?
Yeah, I think we had Heath Ledger was the last good Joker.
I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix was awesome.
The Joker is like
That
the
movie is barely a Joker
it's-
movie.
That is ridiculous.
As far as like the Joker, we got
Joaquin
Heath
Phoenix
Ledger,
is-
and yes,
did a great
there's
job.
Jared Leto,
Nah,
but that was not fun at all. Even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, he was not good in
not
that.
even a little bit. Dude.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, like he did his thing, but that was more of a fantastical art piece with comic books on mental health.
I tried
That's
watching that
all that was
movie.
for.
Yeah.
I tried watching that movie again the other day. I think I texted
Yeah,
you guys.
he's- he
And I
only
got
got
to the
30
part
minutes.
where his manager is like, "Oh, yeah, right. They jumped you and broke the sign." And I'm like, why
Would you not
he
believe him?
lie about that?
Yeah.
Are you an idiot? Like,
So for me,
and I was
yes.
like, I'm done with this movie.
I would like to see. I would like to see Joker again. The same way we got to see Oswald Cobblepot in this movie, we got to actually see a legit comic book real Penguin. I don't think that we have
Colin
seen.
Farrell did a great job.
Yeah, oh yeah, I don't
He
think that
did
we've seen an accurate.
amazing job.
I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy was as close, but like Jack Nicholson's Joker was more of like Jack Nicholson just being Jack Nicholson with
Right.
Joker makeup on.
Right.
Like, let's just call it what it is. And
This
then,
was a transformation.
So
There's
for
so
me,
much to talk about.
I would love for Joker to be what I really love about Joker. I think this next movie, Joker is the villain, but I think you bring in other characters like Victor Freeze, who's not quite bad yet. We
Right.
see him working on cryotherapy and regenerating the skin, and he works with Lil Wayne Technologies and R&D, and his wife has an accident at the end of the movie.
Make it grounded, like how, like at the end of this whole thing's flooded, and maybe he's trying to stop the flooding in her lungs, so he messes around with cryo.
You
and
get a
then,
flashback
and then that-
related to the flood.
Sure,
Right.
yeah, you could do that. That all that stems from
It-
there.
it
So
all
for me, I would love to see the Joker be the main antagonists in the movie, but then I would like to see us add more supporting characters. I want to see a Lucius Fox get put into this universe. I want to see Robin done for the first time in a really
like a
accurate
legit
way.
Robin.
Like a good Robin. And I know that the variant is
Dick
shaking his
Grayson?
head no. Yes, Dick Grayson. I know that there's theories that the mayor's son was
that was cute.
Was
I thought,
supposed to be
I thought the dude in
Robin.
the subway, he plays Tim Drake in Titans.
Yeah, I think that's just coincidence that they got the other actor to do
He's,
it.
he's a Warner family.
I like the
Yeah.
theory that the kid, that Mayor Mitchell's wife's maiden name is Grayson, and that kid will take the name of
Oh,
his.
see, no, that's cool.
I like that theory.
I love that.
I think that would be cool. Pattinson has said he doesn't really want to do the Robin thing unless the kid is like a teenager, starts out as a teenager.
No doubt, no doubt.
And also, Matt Reeves has talked about this in interviews. He says, this series is not currently in a place yet where I'm thinking about it, but Earth 1 type Superman in this universe, for me, would work.
Yeah, no,
And you can
no
expand
doubt.
it, and I've been hoping for that for a long time, where you get maybe a little bit less powered characters versus these characters, and we see them all interact together in a bunch of movies that are good and creator driven, and don't let Matt and the thing is, Matt Reeves doesn't have to do that movie. That was the biggest mistake of the Snyder stuff. Is you need more than one vision for each movie, not just one guy making every single movie.
Right, that's because all of them need to be cohesive. You have to have the
And
feel
different
of
visions,
everything.
and you get good writers, good people who are passionate about the characters, not someone like Snyder who just wants to do everything he can and do every storyline he can.
My casting choice for Victor Freeze is Benedict Cumberbatch. That's who I'd love to see play Mr. Freeze.
Wow.
Wow, that's
That would be
cool.
interesting. I think
that's good, yeah.
He's just got the look to him, and he's super smart as well.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
we
even
can
if he
do
kept his
that.
British accent, like
Think
that would be
about that,
really
casting
cool.
a-
Oh man, I was
a
going
Mr.
like
Freeze.
Antonio Banderas.
You know what we
like
haven't
some-
talked about, or at least not much?
Antonio
Zoe
Banderas.
Kravitz is the best Catwoman.
She is.
She's incredible.
Yeah, I would say so too.
And my thing is, I don't love Tom King's run. He has good moments with Catwoman and Batman, but like they get married and it's
She
all
feels like
feels
Selena
like a
Kyle.
soap opera
No,
and
for
whatnot.
She feels like Selena Kyle.
I love their relationship in this. They
Yeah.
have great chemistry. They
so,
play
too.
off each other well, and
And she's like a kitty cat.
she is like a kitty cat.
I love the moment where she's like, "You don't trust anyone, do you?" And he gets real close to her, and he looks like he's gonna kiss her,
He's
and
like,
he goes, "Looks good," and then
"Looks
walks
good."
away.
No,
I was
she
like,
says, "You really don't care what happens to me." In
"Oh
there."
yeah, that's what it was."
And then he's
he
like-
walked close, and he said, "Looks good." Walked away. I was like,
That's Batman.
That's Batman.
Yeah.
This whole like I'm gonna be like super smooth, and then go, "Yeah, I don't give a rat's behind what you are."
With all the good that comes with DC, we've got to talk about some of the confusing and the bad.
Oh, man.
There's been some schedule shifts as far as the upcoming films. We thought we were going to get 4 DC films this year.
And then what are we getting now?
It turns out we're going to get, well, we're going to get 3 because
This year.
because they moved up Shazam and they pushed back
Oh.
and they, and
Sonny doesn't like.
they
the first
pushed
Shazam
back
movie. He's wrong.
Black Adam, Aquaman, and
Flash
those
Super
are
Pets.
gonna be next year.
Again, Flash is gonna be next year, guys.
Sorry.
Flash
I don't
was
know what it
supposed
is.
to come out March of 2018.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for you. Is anyone worried about this movie?
Not even a little
I'm
bit.
not worried
dude.
because I don't care.
Yeah.
But now you've gotten to the point where you don't care. That's even worse
Yeah.
than being worried.
You're not worried anymore because you don't.
I'm
really
gonna
care if you
watch
it.
the movie just because we have to talk about stuff. But like, am I stoked
Oh,
for this?
yeah, I'm still
Not
gonna
even
see
a
it.
little bit.
But their concern for Warner is that they didn't want to open Black Adam within like 2 weeks' time of Thor: Love and Thunder. But now they're going to open Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods opposite Avatar 2.
Yeah.
A movie that everybody's been waiting like 13 years for.
I think
I
the
really
room-
don't
the room-
care
the
about
room's
Avatar.
the room's
but
probably a little split.
Yeah.
I personally, I would rather go see Avatar
I would not. I'd rather go see
than
Shazam.
Shazam.
I
Part
like,
two.
I like Shazam.
I like Shazam.
So the room is not split. You are
I
in the
think you're the
minority
only
on
one
this
that doesn't
one.
like
That's the
Shazam.
Avatar 2.
Dude,
That's the Avatar
thank you,
2.
dude.
Over Shazam?
Yeah, Shazam
Okay.
wasn't good.
Thank you.
You're wrong.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
The movie sucked.
Okay, that's a
dude.
It
different
didn't
statement.
suck. I just didn't like it.
All right, Quan, you're the deciding factor here because this is
Is the room
what
truly
evens
split?
the room.
Shazam did not suck, but Avatar.
Yeah.
All right, so the room is
Yes.
split. You are right.
We're
Well
waiting
done.
a long time to see Avatar. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Pocahontas too.
Pocahontas too.
I think is what
It's
you
like
meant to
it's
say.
literally like
On an alien
Star
planet.
Wars Pocahontas, dude.
That's basically what it is,
Yeah.
guys.
DC's making a mistake. They're making a mistake, and they're going to burn themselves to the ground if
I
they
thought you-
continue to do this. That's
thought
all
you-
I'm going to
I
say.
thought you were gonna say they're making a mistake again. It's like because it's like this is like a common theme. It's like we've had we just had a really high with Batman,
I think
and whatever's gonna
They're
come
like,
out
yeah,
of
did you
the
like
Batman.
that? Well, that's what you're going to get. That's it.
Did you like the movie? Well, check this out. We're gonna move a bunch of stuff around and confuse you completely as to what we're trying to do.
it was so good, and then I really
Giacchino score is so
I
good.
was really excited for Black Adam, and then now that's getting pushed back. You
Okay,
know, like-
so the most anticipated film for I think everybody at this table, the most anticipated film is the movie we just watched last week.
it's Batman.
Yes,
For
sir.
this year, it was weird to say that. For the rest of the year, the movie that
It's already out.
we've
and
already
watched.
seen it. Paul's already seen it 3 times.
I have. I will see it again too.
We've already seen it.
Yeah.
The most
Over
ante-
Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah.
one of the most anticipated series for this year. You could make the argument that it's Obi-Wan. Okay. We've been kind of waiting to see if we're
Yeah.
gonna actually get a trailer, if we're actually gonna get some footage.
You
well,
good, bro?
I guess the spies at over there at Plus were listening to us. And yesterday we got our first teaser trailer
Oh, did we ever?
for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It begins May 25th, exclusively on the Plus. 6 episodes.
Yep. Limited
wow.
series.
Ewan
6
McGregor
episodes?
is back. We're gonna watch the trailer.
I
right
can
now.
watch this trailer all day.
It's a limited series. It is not getting a second season.
Correct.
They've already said that.
Oh man.
Stop using stuff from the prequels.
The fight is done.
Just kidding.
We lost.
We're lost. So cool.
Stay hidden.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
Have you
bro.
not seen this?
No, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Somebody's watched it 6 times, didn't they?
This is the best score ever.
The Fortress Inquisitoris.
Is that what it's called?
This patience.
I don't mind the way he looks.
Me neither.
I didn't even notice it was supposed to be him.
It was Grand
So I don't
Inquisitor,
know what
bro.
that says. Oh, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't
This
know.
is such a great line.
Their compassion leaves a trail.
Yeah, there.
So good.
It's contradicting, but okay.
The Jedi code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
So cool. Yeah, buddy.
Looks good, man.
Yeah, buddy. So you don't see the lightsaber at all until that.
The fact I have to say right out of the gate, we know that John Williams is scoring this series, which is incredible. But the fact that they used the Battle of Heroes
That
as
is
their
the
theme, and then Duel of the
best.
Fates, and then ended with the Battle of Heroes again, the motifs and the way they the composition of that was just outstanding. And then the part where he's looking at Luke
And he's like,
and he's doing his speeder thing on there.
Pod
that,
racing.
That was that. Yeah, pod
Now
racing. Right?
this is pod racing.
Pod racing.
Yeah, that was cool because there were so many things happen when I saw him
So
looking
cool.
through and looking at Luke. I thought about 2 moments. The moment where he fights Darth Maul and he says, you're protecting something, not something, but someone. And he finds out, is he the chosen one? And he shakes his head and he says,
Yeah, when he
is."
kills them all, yeah.
He says he is. And I was like, oh. And then I thought about the moment where, of course, in A New Hope, where he looks at Luke one last time before he looks at Vader and decides to be one with the Force and
Yeah.
leaves. When I saw him go up and look through the thing to look at Luke, I went, oh my God, that's just the beginning
that's
of him
literally just the
protecting
beginning
of this child who's going to mean so much to the galaxy
Yeah.
one day. I
You
just
know
thought it was
what?
really so cool.
I am most excited for about this is that they are taking it off of Tatooine. that they're
Yes.
bringing Obi-Wan somewhere else, and it looks like, and the
Looks like they're going to like Atlantic City or something.
it's called Dowie or something like that. I can't remember what the new planet is called. Something like that.
Macau.
Jonathan's shaking his head. Yes.
They're going to Macau.
Paul's got it.
Yeah, they're going to Macau. And I'm just so excited to see him fight. And I want it. What I think is going to happen in this show, he's not going to want to use the lightsaber.
Sure,
Yeah,
you
it would
definitely
be
see
obvious.
He's going to be fighting the Inquisitors without one, and then finally by the end of the show, he's going to go, "All right, I'm breaking out the lightsaber," and the Inquisitors are going to be all like, "Oh, we've been handling you this whole show," and then he's just going
to wreck the whole squad.
Inquisitors are not on the level of Obi-Wan.
Oh,
they
absolutely
are
not.
not even close.
No.
And we're just going to see him tear through a bunch of them at the end of the show.
That'd be so sick.
And like I think it's because of Boba Fett that I'm a little bit afraid of some stuff. Like I was talking to you guys before the show, there's a scene where the Inquisitor is standing in like an alleyway and Obi-Wan is in front of her with a gun. That's a very bland looking set piece. And there was a lot of bland looking set pieces in Boba Fett. And I'm afraid that some of the set pieces in this movie are going to look not as visually interesting.
We're gonna get a couple fillers for sure.
I think
man.
that's I don't think we shouldn't. It's only a
Six
six
episodes, and it's only
If we
one
get-
season.
We'll get at least 2 fillers.
If
dude.
we get 2 fillers, I will be mad. I will be upset.
I don't
You're
think with a
thinking
story like this you would, because
the
there's
Frog Lady Uber type of filler episode. Is that what
there's
you
so
meant?
much to talk about. You've got Yoda still on Dagobah. You've got Qui-Gon learning how to use
think
the
he'll show
Force. Yeah, I think he'll show up. I think we're going to get flashbacks of him and Anakin in the war together
I
and
do
having
too.
like brotherly moments that he remembers about Anakin. I think we're going to get a moment where Anakin takes off his helmet and he sees him, and you see sort of what happens in Rebels when he
Yeah.
sees Ahsoka and he kind of turns back. I think it's going to happen even more in this one when he sees Obi-Wan. He's just please, this pain, I can't do this. And he tries, and all of a sudden the dark side, you hear Palpatine, or the dark side takes over again, and then he's like, he's beyond say, I can't save him. I can't save him.
And I think they're hiding the fact that we were talking about this for a while. We're gonna get this Obi-Wan series. I want some cool lightsaber battles.
I think we're gonna get
And
it.
I think if we see anything, because there's been speculations everywhere, we're gonna get a really powerful Vader.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen said it today. He says this is the most powerful you will ever see Vader in any medium.
So
I want to see something cool.
I want to ask Frank and Jonathan, do you guys think we get pre-Vader Hayden Christensen? Because you don't get Hayden Christensen and not actually have him look like Hayden Christensen in the show.
You're gonna see some scarred up version, I guess. I mean,
What do you think,
I don't know
Jonathan?
if it's necessary for them to show him.
I don't either, but
you're saying like a flashback. That could be a thing, that we get some type of flashback of him fighting alongside Obi-Wan. And because they've made a point to tell you that Hayden Christensen's going to be in the show.
Exactly, that's
they
my
could
thought.
have
They're gonna
anybody in the
show-
Darth Vader
they're
suit
gonna
and go,
show
oh, by the
him.
way, that's Hayden Christensen. It's like, okay.
No, they're gonna show him.
They're going to show him.
They're gonna show him for sure. In what context do we see him? We don't know yet. This is probably the most excited I've been for one in a long time.
We are going to play a game next week. We
we have to hear from Varian.
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to get too excited. It's just so exciting. It's the best show that's ever going to be made ever. There's going to be pod racing. There's going to be lightsabers. There's going to be jumping. There's going to be flips. There's
Obviously,
going to be
Jonathan.
Jedi stuff. There's going to be Sith stuff. There's going to be Darth Vader. There's going to be Obi-Wan. There's going to be everyone that you want in Star Wars is going to be in this show.
Do you give it A plus?
And it's going to be perfect. Yeah, it's A+.
Bail Organa is in this, and we
Bail
get to see-
Organa, yes.
and we see a young Leia on
I think we'll get
on
a lot
her
of Joe
planet.
Edgerton.
Why do I
as-
forget the
Owen
name of
Lo-
it?
Owen Lars to
Alderaan,
come back.
sorry.
Yeah, he's back.
Dude,
Yeah.
and do you think we see Mace Windu at all in this?
Oh, no. Uh-oh. That'd be awesome.
That'd be sick.
That's like 104.
I mean, I'm just saying that's like right in the perfect timing of him to try and show up. It's only 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
It'd be cool.
Right, because there's all the fun theories that he's still alive.
I
and he's
think
just
if he
hiding.
does show up in any series, it will be this.
Man got
Yeah.
yeeted off a building. Right?
It's really exciting.
Off a
Dude,
building.
yeah, Boba Fett went to a Sarlacc
Well,
pit.
if anything, I think there's better examples of why Darth Maul got cut in half and fell down a giant
Yeah, and then
pit.
there's that.
Palpatine got electrocuted and thrown down a giant pit.
That,
so
that
I
also
guess
it exploded. Remember that part? The Death
It
Star
did explode.
exploded.
It did explode.
So he not just fell. It exploded.
And now that I'm saying it,
Just fell.
And
It
he
exploded.
And he go, I'm okay.
now that I'm saying it, I hate that they brought him back. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, well, no one likes Rise of Skywalker.
Nah, I don't. I don't know anybody.
Yay, Star Wars.
Hey, I'm okay with it, guys. I was gonna say we're gonna play a game next week.
Okay.
In honor of Marvel Comics just released a new Han Solo Chewbacca series.
Sick.
It just started this past Wednesday. So the game next week we're gonna play is called Never Tell Me the Odds. and it's going to be
I thought you were gonna
about.
say,
We're going to predict
that was
characters.
gonna be
Hopefully,
the
we'll get an A+ from the variant. We're going to predict what characters we think could show up in this series. We're gonna play that game this week. That's called a tease.
Ooh, scruffy looking.
Oh wow.
who you calling scruffy looking?
I had to give that's my favorite Han Solo
It's a
line.
perfect line.
And she goes, "You scruffy looking nerve herder," and he goes, "Who's scruffy looking?" I love the way he
So
delivers
good.
that. Anyway,
Get excited.
you're a
This is excited
scoundrel.
for Obi-Wan.
I am
do we see Han Solo in it? No.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Does Han Solo fight Obi-Wan Kenobi?
in the new one. Do we see it?
Forget it. We're not playing that game anymore.
Do we see Boba Fett in this? I hope for Sunny's sake.
Do we get Mandalorian season 3.5 in this? Do we get 2 episodes
just
in the
like
middle?
towards the
They're
middle, it
Mandalorian.
just turns to the Mandalorian with Grogu. He's
That would be
like,
crazy.
Every clip they
Yeah, we
showed
just
you
get-
is the
like,
first
just
3
quits
episodes of
real quick,
Obi-Wan.
It cuts to him real quick. We hear boo, and then it cuts away. We're like, wait, did he just?
Donovan is like
Absolutely.
killing the theme music. Like,
he is, dude.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
tired.
Per usual.
Sonny, what do you got for all the people out there?
We loved Batman. I hope we get something really cool out of Multiverse of Madness coming up pretty soon.
The leaks are out there, folks. Stay off the interwebs
Yeah,
with
there's a
anything
lot of
regarding
Oh, I
Multiverse
saw one
of
today and
Madness.
I went,
There is stuff out there
There's
that
stuff- there's
if
a
you
lot of
want to
stuff out
enjoy
there.
the film,
Don't watch it.
don't go looking for it. It's out there. It's being leaked. Stay away. Avoid the interwebs.
lots of leakage. Sorry, that was.
That was good.
There's lots of
good.
There's lots
He
of
had the hand
leakage.
movement down really good. That was awesome.
I've watched you do it enough
A
times.
ton of leakage,
A
more
ton of
leakage
leakage.
than the Titanic.
Movie's
let
still
me
gonna
tell
be
you.
great, but just stay away. I'll keep you away.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well,
Good.
Incredible.
Variant, what you got?
It's me. I'm incredible.
Are you okay?
Obi-Wan I can't. That trailer's awesome. I've watched it too much. I'm just in shock again. You just have that moment of like Star Wars. It's happening. They're gonna do it right. And like it just makes you feel.
It's an interesting assumption.
Huh? They're gonna do it right. There's no way they can mess it up.
They
What
better.
if they don't?
There's no way that they can mess it up. I thought they were gonna mess up Batman, and they proved me wrong. So I'm
What
gonna
if
say
1/3 of the movie is filler, like Sunny? Show is filler, like Sunny thinks it's gonna be.
What would the filler be? Like Obi-Wan, like
What's he
doing
gonna do?
like
Go to
karate?
DMV?
like,
I
washes
mean,
his
what is
car? I
the
don't
episode
know.
going to be like?
How would they filler with Obi-Wan?
I
I don't know.
that.
He like washes the car.
I learned juggling
Maybe he
in my
wants the
free
car.
time.
Maybe he's like dealing death sticks because he needs to make money. Because
That's crazy.
he
Drug
doesn't-
dealer Obi-Wan.
It's like a
Yeah.
Breaking Bad version of the Obi-Wan
what are we
series.
talking about?
I don't know.
Filler
Say
episodes
my
for
name.
Obi-Wan.
They call me Ben.
Donovan, what do you got for us?
I am still continuing to read right now a bunch of Thor comic books, getting ready for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Still no trailer.
Still no trailer for it yet.
It's gonna cost a lot of money for that one.
We would have watched
I'm on
it
the-
already if it was out.
I'm on the 4th issue right now. I'm rereading it again of Thor: God and Thunder, the God of Thunder, and the Gore the God Butcher is so
Yeah.
The first time reading that was
good.
the coolest thing
And
ever.
I think in this new movie, I think we're gonna get the 3 Thors, the younger Thor, the
That would be
middle
dope.
Thor, and the old Thor. I think we're gonna get old Thor to start out this movie to talk about Gore the God Butcher and how he got to this point.
That would like a cold open, like it's just a monologue from old King Thor.
Yes.
and he's like, long ago, something.
One eye.
And it's gonna be somewhat funny in a way because it's Taika Waititi.
Yeah, it's
like we'll
gotta be.
see that, but then I think they'll introduce the multiverse, and that's where we get Jane Foster Thor that's thrown in there as well. There's a lot of things.
It's gonna be
and I think Gore the God
a
Butcher's like,
lot.
2 gods at once. How could I
Yeah.
not? How could I not take this up?
Right.
It's gonna
That'd
be
really cool. That's
unforking
just a-
believable. Paul, what do you got?
Read comic.
We gotta go.
That's too much.
Where is he coming from?
He's all the way over the
You know what I
bungalow.
got for you guys? I got nervous. Read your comics. Philip Kennedy Johnson's World story is still super, super good. Go check those out. Williamson's run on Batman isn't going to be very long, but it's been very good so far. Check out Superman 78. The Vendetti issues. It was a 6 issue limited series.
Yep.
Super, super good. I haven't quite finished it yet, but it's so enjoyable. Go read DC Comics. Go read Marvel Comics.
Go read.
And
It's a
also,
lot of
Sonny
cool
didn't
stuff.
bring it up, but I think we should. I only mentioned it because you were talking about how much you loved it. The boys thing, diabolical thing. Talk about it.
Yes, dude. Diabolical is on HBO or is on Amazon Prime. I'm like, it's on HBO. It's a anthology series. So the first episode's kind of like I don't know.
You said
like
Looney Tunes earlier.
Looney Tunes, and then the second one's like definitely Rick and Morty, and then they kind of go into like comic, anime.
Do
I don't know.
the animation styles change or
Yes,
just like
every
ooh,
episode.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
So
didn't know
it's
that.
really fun.
A lot of guest voices.
A
and-
lot of guest
yeah.
voices. It's very violent. Everything that you would expect from the boys.
Right.
And we just kind of got an official release date, I guess, for
Oh,
season 3 today.
yeah,
Have we heard anything
Ju-
about the
June 3rd.
the
The actor?
Invincibles season 2?
I think it's a ways
No,
off.
it's still a ways off. So I mean, yeah, go watch that.
Yeah, do it.
I was gonna mention you guys know that I really enjoy the Radiant Black series.
Yeah, you
Got
do.
They got a lot
Rogue
of stuff
Sun,
going on.
Supermassive is a one shot. The image stuff.
Radiant Red?
The Radiant Red miniseries started. This is kind of like their own connected universe that Image really doesn't do. But Ryan Parrott and Kyle Higgins, they're connecting this universe. It's fun. It's
Sick.
it's been entertaining so
I
far.
have every issue, but I am very far behind. Like I'm on issue like 5, I think, and there's like 12.
Of Radiant Black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a couple issues behind. I'd say.
I'm more than that.
Okay,
It's very good though. I
Yeah.
just
it's good stuff.
life.
Guys, we will be back next week to harass each other some more. And
Seems about
now
right.
it's time for snacks and
Beverages.
and drinkies.
We haven't
and
decided where yet.
We haven't decided where we're going, but that's what we're going to do. And we appreciate you guys taking the time to check us out. We hope that you add us to your pull box. We hope that if you like this kind of content, that you would share it with a friend or share it with an enemy or whatever. But we'd like to hear from you. Give us a comment. Where can they find us on the
like fun,
on
sorry.
the socials?
They can find us at Into the West Comics on Instagram. Go follow us there. We post stuff there on a pretty regular basis, and it's fun. Talk to us. We post stuff on Twitter sometimes, into_comics. That's fun. We're all just touching each other and getting each other's space right now. Don't make it weird. And
I am more than comfortable with
we
it.
got a TikTok at Into the West Comics.
Yes.
And then if if you're watching this and you haven't hit the like button, or
Like.
if that subscribe button is
Or
still red,
subscribe.
what are you doing? Unless
Like
you
and
don't like us,
subscribe.
but then do it anyways.
Do it anyway.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Cam just asked how they're going to fit 2 episodes of Mando into this 6 episode series.
Cam.
We don't know, Cam, but we think they could do it.
It's happening.
John Favreau and Filoni will figure out a way.
Oh, for sure.
Guys, we love you. We'll talk to you next week. And that's it.
Peace out.
Peace.
Ooh,
Like and
scruffy
subscribe.
looking.
Comment. Like and subscribe. Comment. Like and subscribe. Comment.
Comment, like, and subscribe. Love you guys. Long time. Tacos, beers,
That's his TikTok
beverages, all of the delicious things. I love you.